Good afternoon and welcome to Robin Minds. My name is Isabella Detty. It is the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but some will argue that that's just in principle, that the states are not empowered to carry out governance as much as they would like. But then again, there are times when all blame is placed on the center, and the responses go back to the state. So there's this tussle between the federal and the state. What will it look like if the state is actually empowered to carry out more duties, financially empowered, police their states? That's the crux of the conversation this afternoon. Joining me for this conversation is a legal practitioner, Farouk Abbas. Welcome to Robin Minds.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Happy December, by the way. Happy new month, like we will say. So, there's been a call for decentralization. Do you agree that Nigeria is truly the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or just in name and in principle, but not in reality?
Yes, I agree that it's not a federal system in reality. It's just in name. And why I say so is that most of power is concentrated at the central level. So we're running more or less like a unitary form of government, unitary system of government. So everybody gravitates towards Abuja, which is why whenever you have a new president, you see people relocating to Abuja, people traveling to Abuja. Most people believe that nothing gets done if you don't go to Abuja. Most of the federal agencies, even the ones that don't have their headquarters in Abuja, everything also happens in Abuja. So if anything happens, we talk more about our president than our local government chairman, than our governors, than our House of Assembly members. So everybody focuses on Abuja and on the president. So we might call it Federal Republic in name, but in reality, it's not a federal republic.
But a lot of times when there are issues and all eyes are on the president or on the center, Abuja, the responses go back to the states. Well, the states are empowered. How much power do the states really have to function, to govern, to provide services for the people, and not always go back to the center?
Well, in reality, yes, the state governments have some power, but in reality, the bulk of the power lies with the federal government. Because when we talk about power, what is the instrument of power? Part of the instrument of power is the police force. That's one of the fundamental instruments of power. The military, electricity, rail, those key immigration, central bank, monetary policies, economic policies, they all happen at the top in Abuja. So of course, yes, the state government have some power, but the way the system is run and the way the constitution is structured, it makes it abundantly clear that the buck stops at the table of the president. So even when you send someone back to the state, eventually the governor of that state will have to run back to Abuja. Even with our police force, you go to the commissioner, by the time an AIG changes or calls something, what the commissioner has said will change. So the structure doesn't favor power being in the states. And if you look at the finances, in terms of controlling of the finances, the bulk of it is at the federal, and it comes from the federal down to the states. Most of the states, over 20 of the Nigerian states can't survive without receiving allocation from the federal government. So when you have that sort of system, you can't say they have any power, because who pays the piper dictates the tune. So if they are self-sustaining, then you can say they have some form of power. But majority of them are not self-sustaining. Yeah, some of them can fund their operating expenses by 50%, thereabouts, but without the allocation from the federal government, most of them will be bankrupt.
Let's look at those 10 states. Let's look at Lagos, for example, that does well in internal revenue generation. How well have they fared in terms of governance, since they're not always fully reliant on the federal government? Because if we have a case study of 10 states doing well, perhaps that can support the clamor for decentralization and make a financial case, an economic case, that if you do empower these states, they will do well because they're already performing, and we have those states to show.
Whether you like it or not, you have to give it to Lagos State government. Lagos State government has been blessed with very proactive governors who are technology inclined, and governors who are forward thinking, and they've introduced several policies that has helped them to generate significant IGR, significant policies. A lot of state governments are copying and pasting a lot of their policies. So what they've done essentially is that, because government is run by tax, they focus heavily on taxes. They are expanding the tax net. So they are not necessarily stifling the people or trying to squeeze from the little they are getting. They are expanding the tax. So both formal sector and informal sector are paying their taxes regularly. And they are also introducing technology into a lot of their activities. Like at the land registry, they are introducing technology, your building approval, so many, even the VIO, even your permits, when you pass one way, you know, you receive a text message, you know. So they are innovative, because you know, when you talk about governance, governance is all about innovation. But the system we have in Nigeria currently doesn't encourage innovation. It encourages indolence, it encourages dependence, and it encourages lack of creativity.
So will you say that the states that are not forward-thinking, being proactive and innovative are actually to blame, and that's why power continues to rest so much at the center?
Oh, of course, yes, the states are to blame. The states are to blame, because if the states have been independent and well-run, eventually the federal government would have to relinquish power to them, or they'll be able to negotiate from a point of strength. You know, but if you cannot self-sustain, then you won't be able to negotiate on a point of strength. Anything you start running cap in hand. When Governor Wike was the governor of Rivers State, he wasn't going cap in hand to Abuja. He was always stating that he doesn't need to go to Abuja for anything. That's because the revenue from the state is enough to run the state to a large extent. You know, so if the governors become more innovative, and everybody has advantage. Lagos State, yes, might have a large workforce, there might be a lot of businesses, so they can get personal income tax and all those things. But some other states have agriculture, some have mining. You must deploy, you must focus on your future, on the peculiar benefit that you have. Everybody has an advantage. We can't all be like Lagos, but you can bring up technology. You know, your state now, I understand that in their land registry now, they are introducing technology. If you want to do a search on the parentage documents, you do it online, you pay online. You know, that's innovation, that's technology. And when you bring in technology into governance, what it means is that it blocks leakages. All the people stealing money from the system, they won't be able to do that anymore. The TSA system we have, if you have that in state, it blocks it. So if they don't get those allocations from the federal government anymore, they will be forced to think. And when they start thinking, then they look long term. But the way we have it now is that they're not thinking long term, they're just waiting for the money to come. And once the money comes, they just spend it anyhow they like, in unproductive manner. Only few of them spend it in a way that can activate the economy, you know. So technology and be innovative. And of course, yes, like you rightly said, they need to learn a lot from Lagos. How many state governments can afford to have a trained system in their states?
So, I mean, the president has said that we should go back to our governors, that they've been allocated funds. And do you think that that's the right way to go as a people, to go back to our states? And, you know, I also want to ask you about the politics about state governance, because on the one hand you say that they are powerless to generate revenue, to be innovative, but on the other hand, when it comes to delivering an elections, a lot is expected from the governor. It's expected that you deliver the state. So how can you possibly deliver a state if you're not really powerful, and if you're not in control, and if everything really happens at the center?
So, you know, that's the double-edged sword, and I like that question. Yes, you know, the governors are not totally powerless. You know, they have certain powers. But the truth is that the way the system is designed, they don't really have so much power. If they were innovative and they are assertive and they come up with a lot of ideas, they will be able to control more power. But the truth is that they are not a lot of them are doing all that. And like you rightly said, yes, the governors have to deliver their state, because when you control the revenue, once, you know, before the autonomy Supreme Court judgment, even local government funds was being controlled by the state government. So with that resources, they have the power to determine what happens in their state. But now that there is autonomy, I don't know how it has been implemented across board, that would whittle down their power and take part of their power back to the federal government. And when the president says they should go to the states, he knows what he's saying. As at 2023, the revenue that all the states shared was about 5-point-something trillion naira. In 2024, it doubled to about 11-point-something trillion naira. So when the president took away subsidy, it increased the revenue getting to those states. So if the president tells you to go back to your state, he knows what he's saying. Because if there has been an upsurge in the revenue coming to the state, we should see something different from what we've had in the past 5-10 years. Because we've never had it in the history of Nigeria that the governors will be exposed to so much funds. It hasn't happened in a very long time.
So they do have the funds. Now, we've looked at it from the economic standpoint, and now politically, I want us to look at security, because that's always a bone of contention, that if you would empower the states to run their own police, to provide their own security architecture, then perhaps that would be the solution. But on the flip side, wouldn't that also empower the states when it comes to the elections, when it comes to just maintaining law and order for their own intentions or their own plans?
Yes, you raise a very brilliant and fantastic point, because the truth is that if you give the state governors the architecture of security to control, some of them will abuse it, because the quality of people who aspire to be governors of some states is nothing to write home about, But we wouldn't say because some governors or some bad sheep among them would abuse it, we should now stop what will benefit the whole country. So I think what we need to do is we need to look for a system whereby you can have a federal authority that can supervise them. I don't want to mention a state in the southwest. There's a state in the southwest that has a security outfit, and the security outfit was accused of killing some youths recently. And the IG had to send police officers to go and arrest the head of that agency and lock it down. So, you don't have to be too very brash or brazen in supervising, but there should be procedure for supervising. There should be standardization in terms of how we train them. Because I must commend your state government. Your state government is doing fantastically very well in terms of security, because the Amotekun, when you are going to Ibadan, on the express, you start seeing, within 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers, you start seeing the Amotekun trucks. So you see that the governor in your state treats security as an infrastructure project, because it's funding it heavily. Recently, too, I read in the media that the governor of Enugu State also invested heavily, bought vehicles and bought drone technology. Also in Lagos State, we have security trust fund, and they invest in the police heavily. So, yes, even though they've not given them the power to control security at the state level now, some of them are coming up with innovative ideas. Sokoto has their own, Borno has their own. So with Amotekun we have in Oyo State, we have in Osun State. If you have forward-thinking governor who will see security as part of the state, as an infrastructure, and pump money into it, you should be able to secure your state. Then we cannot have laws saying that maybe when we have elections, they shouldn't be part of elections, because if they are part of elections, the government... So
some level of checks and balances. Yes, there must be
checks and balances, because if you don't have checks and balances, they will abuse it. Look at these Independent Electoral Commission. I know a state in the southwest, where the head of the agency's Electoral Commission was a former candidate of a political party in that state that ran for office, but he claimed he resigned after he was appointed. So that's an abuse. And that's why some senators now are mulling the idea that perhaps we should take away that power from the state government to start conducting local government elections, because all sort of shenanigans happen in that. And that's the truth. There's no state in Nigeria that you will see where they do election and the opposition will sweep the whole local government chairman, even if the opposition has won some areas, So that one has been abused to a ridiculous extent. So in coming up with state police now, we must have checks and balances to ensure that the way the states have abused the State Independent Electoral Commission will not happen with the state police. Otherwise, we'll be calling another civil war in certain states if you empower those governors to have those security apparatus. But we won't say because of the risk we shouldn't explore, because we need, that's the way to go.
So let's look at education, for example. If states really had the powers to run their own education systems, it could be argued that they will adapt to what is required in terms of the languages, in terms of the culture, in terms of the terrain, because each state is peculiar, but yet we run a federal system. Has this helped us as a nation to be more literate, to be more educated, to be more empowered as a people? Or should we really be pushing for this devolution of powers to the states to improve our education sector?
That's a fantastic question you asked, because research has shown that when you train children or you teach them in their indigenous language, they pick it better. That the default mode of your brain is to think in your mother tongue. So you are very correct. I believe that the uniformity in the education system or structure in Nigeria has affected certain regions in this country. Because I have friends who have served in certain regions in the country, and when they go to the classroom and they ask the student and say, "Do you understand English?" they can't even respond. But if you speak it in their language to say, "Do you understand English?" they will respond back to you. So an illiterate is not someone who cannot read English. Some people can read Arabic very well and they can interpret it. They're not illiterate. If I can read a language and you understand it and you can communicate in that language, you are not an illiterate. So we shouldn't just say illiteracy is when you cannot read English language. No. In China, they learn with Chinese. In India, they learn with Indian. So if a state wants to use their language to train, but you now know that when you're not preparing for unified exams, maybe they will now go through special training, or you have alternative system. But every state should grow according to its own way. The same way Lagos State raised a lot of money, you can't expect a state like Osun to generate the same of IGR that Lagos State is generating. But at the same time, you won't say because Osun can't generate a particular number of IGR, you now prevent Lagos from going into power project or having a railway system and all that. Everybody should grow at their own pace. So if Lagos is going to be moving like a rocket and Osun State wants to be moving like a motorcycle, so be it. but let everybody design what works well for them. And the governor of Osun State, former governor Aregbesola, tried to do something like that when he was governor. Although I don't agree with his policy, he came up with a unique education system, education policy, and in the whole of Nigeria, he was the only one that came up with that policy.
So when we look at governance and politics, there seems to be this all eyes on Abuja, and if I'm not in the ruling party, I might lose my state. So it's become very common now to see people elected in one party, and the fear of 2027, the fear of re-election, because all eyes are on the center, means that they are now decamping. So what does that mean for their State House of Assembly? What does it mean for the people who have elected them? And how does it send a message to the people where they actually truly stand, and if they're really in control or they are just a function of the center and heavily influenced by it?
You know, politicians decamp for various reasons, and one of the reasons is the one you've mentioned. Some other politicians decamp for other reasons, but with the reason you've mentioned, the way I would like to look at it is, if you are sure of yourself and you know you're a competent governor and you have performed, you wouldn't need to be in the ruling party to win an election. Look at Governor Soludo. Soludo performed excellently well in Anambra State, and he didn't decamp to the ruling party, and he won his election. Look at Alex Oti, he's performing very well. But if you're a governor and your performance is not really solid, and you know that you're not really doing very well, perhaps it might be in your best interest to go to the ruling party. But that's not the fault of the structure or the constitution or the president. It's a fault of the governor. Because we've also heard in this country recently that a governor in the southwest state wanted to decamp to the ruling party, and the ruling party said, no, don't come to our party, and they blocked him. So if they don't want that governor, it shows that. But if you are well grounded with your people and you have connection with your people, you wouldn't need to be in the ruling party. Because whether you are the ruling party or not, if you are not a performer, or if you present someone that is not a performer, you will lose an election. So you can't just say the ruling party will make you win an election. We've seen it. Anambra State has done it. Abia State has done it. So you don't have to. I don't agree. Yes, that's the ideology people are saying, that yes, people are. But if you are well grounded with your people, you wouldn't need to. It's just like an A student. If you're a first class student, you don't have to go and talk to your lecturer. You don't have to be friends with your lecturer. But if you're a D student and you don't read and you don't study very hard, you might need to go and talk to your lecturer or go and see how you can cut corners. But when you're a brilliant student, you don't care who your lecturer is. You do your exam, and your lecturer can't fail you, because if you have an A, he can't give you a C. He can't give you a D. He has to give you an A. But if you're an average student, you're a D student, they can fail you easily. So, but if you're a performer, so those ones that are decamping, we now have to assess it and say, is he a performer? Why is he decamping? And we look at it, So that's the way I want to look at it.
Thank you very much, Farouk Abbas, for your contributions. And this is where we'll end this conversation.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure is ours. We'll go on a quick break on Rubbing Minds. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Rubbing Minds. Now, Detty December, the global cultural phenomenon, is back. There are concerts, parties, festivals, pop-up events, and everything that wants to just take your money. And how do you survive on a budget? The IJGBs, the I Just Got Backs, are back in town. There's a lot of traffic. The prices of transportation have gone through the roof. And there seems to be a poster, a flyer, a message, something that just wants you to go out, and outside cost. So what do we do? How do we react to the pressure of FOMO, fear of missing out? To discuss this, I have with me a comedian and actor, Koja Kaze. Welcome to Rubbing Minds.
Thank you so much for having me.
And also joining me for this conversation is Damilare Oluwasegun, an MC, author, and comedian. Welcome to Rubbing Minds. Yeah. Dirty December has come, and I'm just thinking, Dirty December, mark by me now, because the money it costs. The money is a lot. Like there are mega concerts, there are small concerts, there are plays, there are festivals, there are parties. Like, how do you just stay sane, first of all, and then how do you make sure that you still have money come January, because some people's money will finish before the Christmas comes itself. So I'll start with you.
Basically, that's my appeal to everyone. Please don't finish your money this December, because my show is in February. You still you still buy tickets for that. So don't finish your money.
Are you sure you shouldn't have done the show in December?
No. So let's leave it for February. Let everyone do whatever they want.
Okay, Valentine kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's in that period. However, I think that this whole Dirty December thing is very relative. Fun is very relative. While you're thinking of attending all the mega concerts on the island, in prime locations on the mainland, there is a sheriff somewhere in Ayobo who believes that fun is eating pepper pomo by the roadside and drinking pelebe, so he doesn't have to spend so much. So in the end, everything is just here in the mind. You know, I grew up in a Lagos that had very cultural ways of celebration. You know, where Christmas was, the ideal way to spend Christmas was with family and friends. You know, when you wake up on Christmas morning, you know that, it is Mama Mary's food that is coming first. At 8 a.m. we eat that one before Mom's food, you know, is ready and all that stuff. But the shift happened with Afrobeats to the world. You know, the minute Afrobeats went global, people want to experience Nigeria and understand, you know, the ancestral home for Afrobeats. Now, so fun just became a major thing. Like, people want to come into Nigeria to celebrate Christmas, to understand the culture, to see the behavior patterns of the people, and, you know, all that stuff.
Oh God, English is plenty. See the cultural patterns, the behavior patterns.
It was not looking like Project Defense.
Reason out for me. You they go street carnival. You they go the one where they go just put canopy and then they go just drive for Adugbo.
Yes, now all those.
That's your own Dirty December.
Yes, you know, like you said, it's relative, but Dirty December for me is with my family, the people I love. We are together. I think it's people that are taking this thing to a reasonable level. Because back then, Christmas is as simple as we eat jollof rice, we share it to our neighbors, everybody's happy. Yeah. So, but now, concert, yes, it's good, but based on your pocket. Go for me, I define the limit.
Rent to go and pay for Ashake's concert.
But I won't blame the
and
person.
They said they must see Ashake. If not, they are begging that they will ask for a refund.
If I pay 300,000 to see Ashake, he will follow me home and perform.
He will follow you.
He will follow me and perform. The whole of that week, he will sing Jingle Bell in my house.
Wait, 300K standing. Wait, is that even reasonable? Because some of these artists, they are abroad and they don't charge this much.
Yeah, but like anyone that pays 300K is fanship. If you believe, if that's your idea of fun, if that is how you want to spend your money, and you will derive maximum fun and pleasure, it's not my business. So far it makes you happy. So I think the bedrock of it is happiness. If it makes you happy, it's your money. Enjoy yourself. For me, my work deals with noise. I'm either inside noise, among noise, in between noise.
So your name was on the noisemakers list times two.
I can't deny that.
And you were not the class captain.
Yeah, at all.
Welcome to the club.
So noise
See us today.
Noise gives me money. So fun for me now is whenever I'm in a place that is not noisy. So can you now see how relative it is? Yes. Fun for me is when I'm in a calm place.
Koja, but that sounds boring. Fun for me is in a place where I'm quiet, like the graveyard, like the cemetery. Is that what you are saying?
So the truth is, a lot of people do not really understand how entertainers live. He's pretty right, because every day you're in front of the cameras, the light is heavy on your eyes, noise, you're by the speakers, you're hosting one event, you're performing at some place. So your peace and calm is now a luxury to you. Now, so every time you have the opportunity to just sit in your quiet space, and
that's fun.
This your Dirty December will not cost at all, because all you have to do is just tell everybody, switch off the TV, switch off everything, and just keep.
You know why it don't go cost?
That's your Dirty December.
Service provider.
Now we collect money for Dirty December.
So you like Dirty December, but let's look at these IJGBs. I don't know about you, but if you go on those ride-hailing apps, there's this kind of surge that is not matching the distance. There's the fact that even the IJGBs, they are now crying out on social media that to do nails, to do hair is like times 2, times 3 what they were expecting. So these IJGBs, should they be going back?
But they brought dollars now. Why are they complaining? Anybody that brings $3,000, do you know?
So they should pay it, and they should not disturb us.
So most of them, I love IJGBs. God bless them. You will arrive safely. They are helping. They are enjoying themselves. Yeah. So ask them how much they plait their hair abroad and how much.
But should they be paying $9,000 for, is it 11 days accommodation in Lagos?
Maybe they've done 4 shifts.
They've done 4 shifts. So they...
No, I won't encourage that. So, but you know, most of these things might just be mere insinuations. We've not seen.
No, we've seen people come out on social media and they are posting and they're all these websites and they say this is the amount.
You know, it is often said that, you know, every region in the world, when tourists come in, people tend to, you know, hike the prices of services and goods. I don't know how true that is. And I believe that, you know, Dirty December for Nigeria, it's our own tourism window because everything seems to favor it. For instance, the climate. Sure. November through December, January, February is summer here in Nigeria. So it's the ideal period to even visit Nigeria from the climate standpoint. So I think that service providers are just trying to milk the opportunity because, I mean, when it's February, when it's March, we're left with ourselves.
Yeah. And it's not
but when they are milking the opportunities, it affects me and you and everybody. They don't ask me, am I an IJGB before I get the bill or before the app gives me a price or the site.
So that's
why I want us to break it down. Like, let's say you both have 100K now. Okay. How will you use this 100K? You do December 1, that is week 1. December 2, week 2. December 3, week 3. December 4, week 4. Then January, you still pay school fees. You will still pay rent. You will still pay other, you know, increase of this because it's in that January they used to increase everything. So how will we use that 100K and stretch it in such a way that we'll do oble and will not be obleified and be oblenated? Will not be oblent.
Obliterated. So, but the idea is, for me, you know,
100K.
100K. Right? So if you have 100K, it's okay, you are using 100K as an example now.
Yes. You said that you like quiet. Now that means that your own oble is just to stay in your house and not do anything.
Oblination.
Okay.
But because my work is obleful. So since my work is obleful, I don't need to. So all the funds you will pay for, we are the ones on stage.
Oh yeah, Baba, divide the 100K. This English is too much.
That's almost impossible.
So you want to wonder, is it oble in Lagos or in Ekiti?
Oble anywhere.
Oble anywhere. Yes. So you want to
okay, well, let's do Lagos.
Okay, oble with 100K in Lagos is Mission Impossible. Mission
Oble with 100K in Lagos.
Let's remove the LE.
Just stay in Igondo.
No, that's an insult to Igondo.
Yanoba, Igondo, Yanosash, Ayobo, Mero, all those places. Because, like I started by saying fun is very related.
But you know, like during this December period, Auntie Funke Akindele will release movie. All the actors, the big ones, they will release movie. Abi, we have already started seeing them. We want to do cinema. Then there will be Father Christmas. You want to take your children to collect gifts.
That one is
then there will be party rice to eat and chicken and turkey. Then you will still want to do Thanksgiving in church too. Yes, that one you give unto God what is God. So tell me how I use that 100K.
Oh, let me break it down for you. Since you are insisting, I will start with that Father Christmas. Me now, I have Father Christmas costume at home. Before your children wake up, wear the costume.
Are you buying the costume or you are renting it?
I shall have it. I didn't know I shall know I have it.
Okay.
So everyone just act based on your budget. So if I have 100K and I want to oble, this is what I will do on that 100K. I will remove 50,000. I'll put it in an account. I cannot be tempted or excited to go there. Even if I'm excited, it's not reachable to me.
The account, they've locked it and they've thrown away the key.
And I have the remaining 50 handy. So, oble is they hype me, I come out 10K. Till they want to go and see cinema, I come out 5K. So I know that the moment, if that 50K finish December 16, oble don't end.
I don't know the cinema you are going to, but cinema is 10K. By the time they add movie, popcorn, drinks.
So that's 100K is not. So let's just say oble is not for. You can't have 100K. 200K say cannot oble anything.
Koja, I want you to defend the motion that says 100K is possible for oble in Lagos.
And so that's where it stays.
Let me give you a breakdown. Let me give you a breakdown. According to where I grew up.
I grew up. Where are you staying now? You cannot do 100K where you are staying.
I still stay on the mainland. 100K cannot work. Okay. But then, where I grew up, 100K works perfectly because we didn't used to do too much.
Oh yeah, so where did you go?
Fun was very mental.
So we can go to that place.
First of all,
how much?
How much?
I don't know how much. Boys can just contribute and say, you know, men don't have valor. You drop 2K, you drop 2K, drop 3K. That's 98,000 left.
Yes,
now,
we don't need fireworks.
You get one of your friend's sister. Give her 5K. She buy pomo, buy pepper, buy all those things. Just a 5-liter bucket to be full.
Friend's sister, the friend's brother cannot cook. It's woman that will cook.
We don't go another
I'll fight you.
You want to eat man right? Don't be saying man cannot cook. You go shop.
Do you understand? Then there are drinks. There are affordable drinks. What's the end result for alcohol? Is it not to be high? Then there are drinks for 5K.
The one that they used to carry on the head.
Yes, now there's the one
Sachet
for 1 million.
too.
There's alcohol that is for 1 million that will make you high. There's another one for 10K that will make you high. It's not highness. That's the end product. You buy that one. You buy fireworks.
No, fireworks.
Sorry, banger. I'm so sorry.
Banger.
You know, I moved. Yeah. So you buy banger. Why there are some people at raves on the island paying 50,000 to attend raves? There's street carnival.
Yes, no.
DJ YK has his prestige in those areas where they hear, have you attended any street carnival?
I used to see it where they would just block the road and they put canopy and then they will put those color things like
Notting Hill
this.
Carnival you attend in London, there's no difference between that Notting Hill Carnival and the normal street
no.
carnivals you attend. It's just locational.
So we'll do street carnival. How much for street carnival?
Where are we now?
But you're not the only person carrying the whole 100K bill on your head now. That's why I'm saying that for Momo alone and food, if this one drops 2K, this
Oh yeah,
one
what about
everything is
for
communal in
wife?
these
What
areas.
about for children? How would you do?
Okay, I'm not married though.
Okay.
So
For your family, they will share tax you.
no, everybody will be happy.
On top this 100K still.
On top
Yes.
this
Will you not
100K.
give gifts during Christmas? Will you not send something for your
Let's be
aburo?
sure. I think we are missing something. Are you saying $100K dollars? Maybe we didn't.
No, it's
Naira, 100K naira.
Even if it's recharge card.
If you want to look at this thing practically, do you know there are people who live on
Wait,
this budget
this 100K is big money because minimum wage is 70K.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, minimum wage is 70K. That is some people's take home. So we've even added 30K if we are being generous. So,
but we can
so out of that, they will still eat. They will still
Yes.
do some
Still
oblate,
fine.
and they will still make sure that the light is still on, electricity, there's gas, there's food. But that they will enjoy the oblate.
So I think it's just a quality thing. Just go for the quality that fits your tax bracket and be happy.
Simple. You take it back, you bring it back to what is within you.
Me, I think if it's concert, a lot of churches do concerts. You will sing concert and it's free of charge. Maybe it's just your transportation.
Even my church, they do
Then if it's
karaoke.
outdoor, we can go to the park. How much is all this park
Because that's what we
entry?
grew up on. Do you
1K,
understand? We didn't grow up
1.5.
on concerts.
You will bring
That was the first thing I said.
your snacks and drinks.
That was the first thing I said.
Photographer will even snap you
Yeah.
like that.
I said
wait and get.
if we return the festive period to what it was originally, when it was just a festival of rice and chicken, we wear backbeat, we go. See,
Amusement
it's
park.
not supposed to take any out of your pocket.
But you know that Christmas period is a time when we eat good. That is the
yeah,
time when we
absolutely.
eat turkey and chicken. But these days, and goat and cow. But now it's very expensive. So what should people kill now if
You
they
have
cannot?
neighbors now. Even
People
if
still
you
eat
can-
that. I was going to say that you have neighbors now.
will
Like me, if I
So
wake up in the
we should
morning,
go to
I
our
know the
neighbor's
first
house to
neighbor.
go and
Yeah,
eat
that's
their
all. All
chicken.
you
That's how we
What
live
if
as Africans now.
our neighbor cannot
No,
kill
all you need
chicken?
is spoon and good character.
Spoon and good
As
character.
Africans, that's how we
Just
live really.
spoon and good character.
I will take
Ekpelema,
I will
how are
take
you, ma?
bowl
Thank
and
you.
nylon
So let me
too.
tell you a story. There was one time when we were growing up, we had this family friend. We used to exchange food during Christmas. So there was now one period where my mom now quarreled with their mom. You know how women can be. So
The women
to
can
now
be. You know they
settle-
quarrel with your guys.
To now settle the quarrel, on Christmas morning, the woman now sent her daughter to bring pounded yam and ogbono. If you see that ogbono, you see, all this ogbono that is thick. Regular ogbono is just very watery. This one is thick ogbono with very thick ogbono. She now brought it. My mom now asked, who bring food? We say it's Mama.
So.
Mama Mary.
So.
Mom seen her say, make una no chop that food.
Chop. This one.
Say
Me and my
wetin?
brother, we look the ogbono. I will come tell my mother, say, ogbono no do us anything.
Na you and Mama Mary. Na sabi
This ogbono
yourself.
wey we dey see, this one did not do us. This ogbono with crayfish and turkey. This ogbono did not. We ate it too. This one did not do us.
And
anything.
another defy said to.
And like that fight settled. So that's how we grew up living.
We grew
as
up
Africans.
communally.
Very communal.
So, and we know.
So this is the growing up part. That is in the past, and I love it. It was taking me back, nostalgia. But we are now in 2025. So you now, I know your levels have changed. Which shows are you working on? Which one are you going? Because you have more than 100K for Oblay, let's say the truth. So let us have your recommendation. Because for my JGBs with plenty dollars, they can be watching it now and they want to know, okay, where should I go to? Where should I spend my money? And maybe are also performing. This is our period as MCs. People are booking us, wedding, birthday, end of year party. So both of you, give us your Dirty December guide to having fun.
Okay, so my friend and colleague Ebube is having his comedy show on the 13th of December, Terror Culture. Tickets are selling. Go search on him on Instagram and stuff so you can get tickets. Ebube, great comedian. We're performing there that day. That's one of the shows you can attend this December. And then this thing, it also depends on your lifestyle. For some people, they like to go to the club. For some people, it's the rave parties. We're even seeing an influx of, mainstream UK artists having their shows in Lagos. There's J-House concerts. There's quite a number of concerts, music concerts. And
So
stuff.
I'd like you to just, in 30 seconds, so we can wrap up. Your recommendations.
Just have data. You will see where you can go. Yes, no, just have data. There are a lot. Then don't stay far from a hotel. Just stay, so there are a lot. Then when you are driving, look around. There are a lot of programs coming, even outside.
Do you have any of yours
we're talking
coming
of
up?
low resource.
Any of yours coming up?
Yeah, I'll finish all my shows for you. Okay, I have a show in Ilaro, Ogun State, in Amazon Hotel. For Ilaro people.
We wish you all the best, and Ilaro people will enjoy. Thank you very much, Coach Akaze and Damilare Oluwasegun, and I wish you all the best with an oblified Detty December. Welcome back to Rubbing Minds. It's now time for our entertainment segment. We know that Detty December means so many hits at the box office. Yes, Nigerians will be going en masse to watch the latest blockbuster and to just see our authentic stories on the big screen. Our next guest is someone who has straddled reality TV, filmmaking, acting, modeling, a multifaceted entertainer. Welcome to the show, Boma Akpore.
Thank you.
I love the fit, by the way. Like,
thank you.
You have to give me like the olive green, the ashoke patchwork. I love it. As a storyteller, as a filmmaker, someone who's proud of our culture, how does that affect you this Detty December? Like, are you ready for Detty December? Are you ready for all the movies? Do you have lots of clothes for all the premieres? Like, are you spending all your money going out? Is outside cost?
Yeah, it's very expensive, but you also have to try to make money while this is happening. So as much as there's a lot of expenses, there's also a lot of business opportunities as well. Guest appearances, people want you in places, they want your presence and stuff. So it's also it's both ways,
So are they paying for all of
people
this?
pay you as well.
Yes.
If they need your services, they're going to pay you. But people are going to need a lot of services. There are club appearances, there's events going on, and which most of it or some of it would be paid depending on who you are and the value you bring to the organizations that are inviting you.
So December is a time of movie making. There's one blockbuster after the next blockbuster. Yeah. Do you think it's a good strategy to have, all the big movies come out in December, or do you think people just go to one filmmaker's movie and then they are not spending any more money? Or is there like a science to having your movies out this period?
December. So I think it's just because of some producers have had massive success in December and they've decided to make December their time because, also, there's this thing about December whereby even if people have gone through a lot from January to November, people want to have a good December. It's like every December, it seems like the world is coming to an end. I'm looking for money. I have to buy, festive clothes. I have to go out. I have to enjoy. So people would go to the cinema for sure. People want to go take, their lovers out, their families out. They've been busy the whole year. And December, they just feel like, well, there's going to be Christmas, there's going to be New Year, there's going to be Boxing Day, there's going to be Christmas Eve.
So all these public holidays, opportunities to go out with friends,
there's holidays, companies have bonuses,
end of year
parties and bonuses and stuff. So, and some people have actually, made it their own. Oh, every December I'm going to have a movie out.
But is that good, like the competition, because there's that sense of like who's going to make the most money? And these exhibitors, the cinema owners, they are looking for who's going to put bombs on seats. And if you're not doing well, they pull your movie. So who's really gaining, the filmmaker or the exhibitors or the audience who are now spoiled for choice?
Well, I think it's all healthy competition, because it's just good that you have your choice. You can watch whatever you want to watch. So I think it's a good healthy competition because, we're the third biggest movie. Nollywood has a reputation now. We're doing much better than how we used to do before. There's more films, there's more competition. So I think it's just healthy for everyone. Like if you go watch one today, you can go back maybe next week and watch another one. Or go back, you know what I mean? Like there's just options. You go from this producer to want to watch this other movie and watch that other movie. So yeah, the audience are the ones that benefit.
So you think
the most.
it is healthy competition? But do you think? I mean, when we think December, we think Funke Akindele, we think Toyin Abraham, we think Mercy Aigbe, like these, or A.Y. Makun. These are big names that come out with movies during that period. Do you think it's a good time for people who don't have that strong fan base or don't have that experience premiering in December to come out during this period? Or do you think the other filmmakers should just let them and then go for like a February or another time?
Well, it depends on you as an individual. It's your choice. If you feel like it's time for you to come out at that time, then why not go for it? Because Rome wasn't built in a day. Because even the names we're calling now all started from somewhere. We all started from somewhere and everything, and they didn't wake up. They were not born that way. They had to walk their way to where they were right now. So I think everyone is.
So everybody has a starting point.
Exactly. So if you were to come out and you're bold enough and you feel like, okay, I have what it takes, why not? Nobody should tell you, hey, you should leave this for these certain people. No, come out, enjoy yourself, do your thing, regardless of however you've done it. And you're better than. Who has done something is better than someone that is wishful thinking. Oh, I wish I could do this. Come out, do it. If you think you have what it takes to go for it, just go for it. And don't ever. You should be your only competition.
So don't worry about what other people are doing. Just focus, like day your day.
Do your lane. Focus on you. Do your thing and just enjoy the process and enjoy the moment.
So I want us to talk about actors turned filmmakers, because some would say that they don't pay actors well enough. So for an actor to live like a comfortable life, they have to turn into filmmaking, where they become producers and then they make a movie. Before, it was to take it to the streaming sites, the cinemas, pay TV, YouTube, to make money. Do you think that actors should go into filmmaking because of the money, or they should go into filmmaking because they've prepared for it and they have stories to tell and they are equipped with the necessary skills and funding to go into it?
Yeah, the skill is very important, because if not, you're going to just mess it up. Money should not be your only motivation. Money should be a reward for hard work and a job well done. You should never worry about the money. I tell people, if you're working now, at the end of the month you're going to get paid. Just worry about doing what you're meant to be doing. And if your money's the motivation, it's going to be obvious. And like in everything we do, I think education is important. Having the right education for what you're trying to do so you can do it well and stuff. So in my own case, like for this film I just produced, I wasn't the writer-director. That was Mr. Wale Ojo. I put the film together, the producer's job, making sure the film comes to light and getting the cast and getting everybody ready for that.
So what made you become a producer?
I went to school for this in America. Yeah, I went to New York.
So this was a calculated, intentional move, like you prepared for it?
Yeah, I went to school already since 2017, and I did very well. So I was an honor student. And so I went to film school in America. I started my career in America. Now I just go back and forth. But due to, because of Big Brother, I have a lot more opportunities over here now, which is like, why not? A lot of attention is on Nollywood right now. So I didn't fall into this. This is not a mistake. I didn't dabble into this. I didn't just wake up by accident and say, man, I got to worry, make I become. No, that's not what it is for me. I went to school. This is a career for me. This is this is intentional.
And let's talk about collaboration, because what we see is one actor is the writer, director, producer, and there's like 10 different things. But in your case, it's collaboration. You are not the writer, you're not the director,
no,
you're the producer. Yes.
And I have other, assistant producers and associate producers as well, and everything. Because
how did you get them to come on board and tell us what's the movie about and why should people go and see it?
Okay, so the movie is about a old Nollywood director, a failed Nollywood director that had a dream that he won an Oscar. Then he wanted to make a comeback into the film industry, and it was like, imagine if you were in the film industry during the Winnies. Do you remember Winnies? So
Yes,
and you come back now, you know it's different.
Yes.
You
During the Surulere era.
exactly,
like,
where you had to go for auditions
yes.
and stuff, and then coming to now, you could tell. Is it like if you were in film then and you came back now, you'd be lost. You'd be like, damn, there's a lot of catching up to do. So that's what the film is about. Like he wakes up and like, oh, I'm an Oscar winner, and he wakes, oh shit, I'm dreaming. He comes in. And he's like, calls his best friend, say, hey man, let's go. I just won an Oscar. Let's go make another movie. Let's go to Lagos.
So I love the premise of that because that's nostalgic. And I grew up on like old Nollywood. But I mean, your title is bold. This is not a Nollywood movie, but it is a Nollywood movie.
Exactly.
Or what is the parameter or the criteria for a Nollywood movie? And why did you title it as such?
Well, you would have to watch the movie.
Oh, okay.
You would have to watch the movie to know why it was called, that, brilliant director, writer Wale Ojo wrote the script and directed the film as well. I produced the film, so yeah.
Who are the actors in it?
We have Chidi Mokeme.
Okay.
We have Aung Sanoku, the return of Aung Sanoku makes a comeback. We have Bimbo Akintola.
These are OGs.
OGs. I have Julius Agu.
Okay.
I have Julius Agu. I have Brother Shaggy. I brought in Shatta Bandu from Ghana.
Okay.
And I also have Michael Sonny. He was recently in To Kill a Monkey series. He played Ozzy Boy. I have that. I have Kim Kimura, the new. She's new. And I have Olumide Oworu. Prince of Nollywood, and I have Olumide Oworu. So yeah.
And you're in it too as well.
Yeah, so quite an interesting cast, nostalgic and stuff. Very different from, it's like very, very different from, the style is different and we're not used to that style. So
is that why this is not a Nollywood movie?
Yes,
because the style is different?
The style is very different, it's very unusual. The style is different, it's comedy action and stuff, but yeah, you need to see it.
I can't think of Hanks playing anything other than action, to be honest.
I know. Hanks is amazing, super professional.
How did you get all these OGs to come and then the newbies and then like the collaboration? Because a lot of times people think competition, but this is so beautiful. Of
course, so it's a skill that I've always had, like, pick up the phone and, just, talk to people like, hey, I have this project going on and I need you on board, I need your service to come on. So it's just always been a skill I've always had, and I've done this, multiple times, a couple of times I've done this. I have the skill to be able to, share
and you have the
vision.
network and when does it premiere?
Well, we premiered on the 4th.
4th of...
We're in cinema right now.
You're in cinema right now? Okay.
We're in cinema, we came in we were in cinema we've been in cinema for 3 days now, to December 5th.
Okay.
That's when we went into cinema. Premiere was December 4th.
December 4th. And across Nigeria?
Yes.
So it's a nationwide
release. We're in Ghana as well too.
Okay, so the cinemas too in Ghana as well. Okay. And you have plans for like streaming and...
Yes. We
for those in the diaspora.
This is an Amazon job pretty much. It wasn't even meant to go to the cinemas, but the deal with SWEC, and this is going to, after we do the cinema rounds, this is going to go straight to Amazon. Okay. Sure.
I wish you all the best with your cinema run, and I can't wait to go and catch it.
Please.
Boma Akpori, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
This is where we end the show. My name is Isabella Adediji. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Goodbye.